So my dad married my stepmom last year, which means I now have a stepsister the same age as me. We don't really talk much, just normal stuff like pass the salt at dinner. Last night we were all eating together. Everything was completely normal. Then my stepmom started joking about how my stepsister needs a boyfriend. My dad laughed and said, "Yeah, someone responsible for once." And out of nowhere, my stepsister looks straight at me and says, "Well, technically, I already live with one." The whole table went silent. My dad slowly looked at her and said, "What do you mean by that?" She just shrugged and said, "I mean, he's tall. He works out, and he already lives here." Now everyone is staring at me. I didn't even say anything, so I nervously laughed thinking she was joking. But she just looked at me and said, "Relax, I'm kidding." Then she paused for a second and added, "Unless?" My stepmom literally dropped her fork. Dinner ended like 5 minutes later. But it gets worse. The next morning, I went into the kitchen and my stepsister was already there. She looked at me and smiled and said, "So, did I get you in trouble last night?" And she just laughed and said, "Good. That means you were actually surprised." Then right before she left the kitchen, she said, "You know I wasn't completely joking, though." Right when she said that, my dad walked in and asked, "What weren't you joking about?" She just smiled and said, "Nothing." Now my dad keeps looking at me like I did something, and my stepsister just smirks every time she sees me.